welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be finishing draft 2 of Project Fire. If you haven't seen any of my previous videos, Project Fire is something I've been working on and off for around 7 years now, and I am ready to just finish with this draft and just put the book away. After I finish this draft of Project Fire, I'm honestly just going to let it sit in the drawer. I have other projects I want to work on instead, and I feel like this one, I've written it to the best of my abilities now. And I think in order for this to be a good book, I need to write other books and, really hone my skills better, and then go back to this one and work on it when I'm a bit better. Because this one's a bit more ambitious, it's a series, and while the first book is from like one person's point of view, it will be, multi-POV in the future, and a lot of world building that I think I need to focus on a book that's a bit simpler story-wise, and that's one book that I don't have to plan out entire arcs before writing the first book to make sure that I'm, not having to retcon things in the future. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Like I said, I don't have much to do. I only have a few chapters, so it shouldn't take too long. And honestly, a lot of it right now is just copying and pasting. There's one chapter I have to write that is new. It's like a new scene that I previously just kind of done bullet points, but I'm gonna actually write it out this time. So that's probably what will take the longest. But the rest of it, for the most part, I might be able to copy and paste some of it. The main thing I'm going to be looking at is just continuity, to see if anything has changed in this draft. I know some names have changed, I have to keep an eye out on that. For the most part, I'm pretty happy with Act 3, so I don't think there's going to be any huge changes I have to make. Alright, I finished the first chapter of the day. I still have a few more to finish. The next one is the one that is completely new. And it's also sort of from a different person's point of view. I don't want to say too much, but I'm pretty excited because it's mainly been one person's point of view, one character's point of view for years that I've been writing, and so I'm really excited to write in someone else's mind. Like I said, I finished the first chapter and I feel like it's going to be a good writing day. I feel pretty motivated. And I think because the end is so close, I'm going to write probably more than I normally write, which is a good thing. So yeah, I'm going to get started on the next chapter, which is, like I said, the new one. And then I'll let you know what happens after that. Alright, so I finished that chapter. It was really fun getting to write in that character's point of view. Interesting, they're the type of... If my hiccups do not go away immediately, I'm going to be in such a bad mood for the rest of the day. I absolutely hate hiccups. But like I said, I finished that chapter. It was pretty fun. I liked being able to write in just a different character's point of view. It was really refreshing. I filled up on another latte, and I'm ready to go for the next chapter. It's still pretty early in the day, and what I like about writing my Act 3 is that towards the end of my book, I just tend to write just quicker chapters naturally. Things are happening, I try to kind of keep it snappy, and so it's a lot easier to get through a lot of chapters when I'm the type of person that if I'm able to just I'm the type of person that if I'm able to kind of check off tasks for the day, I'm gonna be more productive. So I'm excited. I do believe I'm finishing the draft today. If I don't, after saying that 1,000 times, it's gonna be really embarrassing. I'm going to lose it if I hiccup one more goddamn time. It's been a few hours since I've updated. I am still in the same chapter as I started last time, but I am now at 3,000 words for the day, or just about. And after this chapter, the only chapters I have to work on are just a few hundred words each, because they're pretty much just wrapping up what happens after this. So yeah, I'm pretty hopeful that I'm still gonna reach that goal of finishing the book today. I finished the book. I told myself I was gonna do a little check-in after every chapter, but I just powered through it in one session. So that's cool. I'm sure that when it comes time to open the document again to start working on a developmental edit, I'm gonna be horrified by what I've written because of how rushed it probably was. But that's a problem for future Jordan. I'm not worrying about that right now. My total word count for the day was almost 4,000, and the total word count for the document, this entire draft, was 117,000, which I know that is quite large. This is not going to be the one that I try and debut with, so I'm sure I'll be able to either cut it down, or hopefully I will have already had a few books, because once you're already published, you can get away with having larger books. It's a huge investment. They don't want to risk losing that money on a debut author that they don't know if they're gonna do well, but generally, if you've already published a book and proven that you can do it, you can have larger books. Also, again, for a future draft, I might decide, oh, this entire section is stupid, let me cut it, and get those words down. And I'm sure that there's, I can tighten, even just by sentence, I could probably go in and cut some words. Like I said, I'm not worrying about that right now. This draft is gonna go on the shelf for a very long. I say that I'll probably start working on it again next week, realistically. But I'm gonna really focus on my next project, which is Project Seashell. I'm gonna start on that tomorrow. I'm really excited for that one. Honestly, I'm just excited to just do something else. I focus on this project, Project Fire, for way too long, and it's time to start something else. I'm also just glad that my hiccups are now gone. If those stayed for any longer, I was gonna get really pissed off. Like I said, I'm going to start Project Seashell tomorrow. I've already gotten most of the way through my draft 0, so I don't really think it's gonna take too long to just finish it, and then maybe take a few days off, work on one of my short stories I wanna work on this year, go back to it, and then get ready to start draft 1. Hopefully, I'll be able to get started on draft 1 by the end of February. Who knows? I don't want to state anything too concrete because if something goes wrong and I'm not able to finish it, I don't want to be too disappointed with myself. But yeah, I'm really excited for just getting this done. Again, was I copying and pasting most of these last chapters? Sure, but I was still making some minor changes here and there. So it was kind of easy. Again, is it my best work? No. But I've been working on this draft for a very, very long time, and I was just ready to get it over with. I needed to finish this. Thank you so much for watching. Happy writing.